In this video, we're going to expand on the work we did discovering all of the triads that are diatonic to the key of A major into the land of 7th chords. We're going to discover all of the 7th chords that are diatonic to the key of A major, and then we're going to be able to generalize that to the diatonic 7th chords that are in any key. So let's just really quick remember what we did for diatonic triads. So what I did was we have our piano here, we have our triad table, and I wrote out the A major scale here. And then I said, all right, what if we formed a triad, one for each of the notes in the A major scale. So one starting on the letter A, one starting on the letter B, one starting on the letter C sharp, one starting on the letter D. And I called each of them the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh triads in A major. And then I counted the half steps to discover the intervals going on in each of these chords. And by that, using this table, I was able to discover the quality, meaning major, minor, augmented, or diminished, of each of the triads. And so using this exercise, I was able to create this very simple table where I know that all the triads in A major are right here. So you've got A major with these notes, B minor with these notes, that's the second chord, C minor with these notes, that's the third chord. And we have a fancy shorthand, which is this Roman numeral thing, where a capital Roman numeral is a major chord, a lowercase Roman numeral is a minor chord, and a lowercase Roman numeral with a little degree sign is a diminished chord. So let's go back to the diatonic 7th chords sheet here. And I have the same exact table that I just showed you in the diatonic triads sheet, but I've given it a little bit of a facelift because what we're going to do is we're going to I've started color coding things. That's what I'm talking about. So I've got a table in here for the 7th chords in A major, and I want it to I want to fill this out so that it looks just like this one, but with the additional column of 7th right here. Okay, and I'm going to do that using the same technique that I did in the previous spreadsheet, but now I'm using an even cooler thing, which is that certain of these squares, when I put something in them, are going to turn colors. So all the root notes are going to be red, all the chords, all the thirds of all the chords are going to be orange, and so on. So here we are. Let's begin by just establishing the root notes of each of the chords in A major. And this is a really easy exercise because all we have to do is say, well, the root note of the first chord is going to be A because it's the first scale degree. And so I'm going to say equals A, and I'm going to use my special $sign trick to lock that row in. There's A. Oh, and you know what I want to do? I want to make all of this center. I want it to be big. So A is the root of the first chord. What's the root of the second chord? Well, it's going to be B. Root of the third chord, C sharp. Oh, by the way, just so we're all on the same page, I took the liberty of just writing C sharp instead of having the slash thing here, so that when I do this copy and paste of the formula, it looks a little bit nicer. So we got C sharp, we got F sharp, and G sharp because those are the actual notes in the A major scale. C sharp, not D flat, F sharp, not G flat, and G sharp, not A flat. So anyway, all right, back we have the root of the first chord is A, the root of the second chord is B, the root of the third chord is C sharp, the root of the fourth chord is D, and then we have E, and then we have F sharp, and then we have G sharp. Very good. Okay, well, how do I discover the third of the first chord? Well, I just remember our technique. I skip the next note on the scale, and this note is going to be C sharp. So I'm going to write my little formula. C sharp. Okay, what's the third of this note, of this chord? Well, from B, I go 1 and then 2. Okay, from C sharp, what's the third of the third chord? I go here to the fourth scale degree, I skip it, and I go to the fifth, and so on. So then here's going to be the third of the next chord, the third of the next chord, and the third of the next chord. Wait, third of that chord, and then the third of that chord. All right, very good. Now let's go look at the fifth. Okay, we have the fifth is going to be right here. And so let's do our fancy start on D, skip the fifth, go to the sixth, start on E, skip the sixth, go to the seventh, and then so on. Okay, and so we have, at this point, we now have all of our triads. All of these notes correspond to all of these notes. They're the exact same notes. So for instance, if I was looking at the F sharp minor, that's the sixth chord in A major. And so if I go to the sixth chord, I have the notes F sharp, A, and C sharp, and here we are, F sharp, A sharp, and C sharp. So looks like I'm right. I'm doing good here. So let's now discover the sevenths. So from E, skip the sixth, go to the seventh, and then that's going to equal this. And I'm going to be able to copy and paste this here, and then here, 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 and here. All right. Looks like I've done it. I've discovered all of my sevenths. And so let's just go ahead and write them down. So the sevenths I've got are G sharp for the first note, for the first chord, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp. Is it a coincidence, by the way, that you know, if I look at any one of these columns, I'm just going through all the notes in the A major scale: A, B, C sharp, D, E, F, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F, G sharp. Of course I am, because all I'm doing is I'm just going over by a third, and then I'm like, copying and pasting the same formula to figure out the next note. So of course that's how root, third, fifth, sevenths work. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to discover the quality of each of these chords. So let's just lock this one in here. Okay, so the first chord, well, I know that the triad from A, C sharp, and E is a major. And so I'm going to be looking in this category. And so it's probably going to be a dominant seventh or a major seventh. So my question is, from E to G sharp, is this a major third or a minor third? And that will help me determine whether it's a dominant or a major seventh. So from E, 1, 2, 3, 4, that is a major third. And so it is a C major seventh. Pardon me, it's an A major seventh because we are in the key of A. So it is an A major seventh. Okay, what about the second chord? The second chord has a B minor triad plus 1, 2, 3, a minor third. The minor triad plus a minor third gives me a minor seventh chord. This is going to be B minor seventh. What about the third one? This is a C sharp minor triad with a 1, 2, 3, 3 half steps. That's a minor third. Minor third. It's the exact same thing as the B. So we have C sharp minor seventh. Now let's go to D. Okay. Our fourth chord, we know that this D, D, F sharp, A, that's a D major triad. So D major triad plus whatever this interval is going to give us our next seventh chord. From A to C sharp, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a major third. So I've got major triad plus major third. That gives me a major seventh. And so we have D major seventh. Very good. Continuing on, let's lock this one in. All right, we have an E major triad plus 1, 2, 3, a minor third, and we've come to our first dominant seventh chord. So we have a major triad plus a minor third. That is going to be E dominant seventh. Okay. Now, sixth chord. I'm going to lock this one in here. And this is a minor triad plus a minor third. And so we have a minor triad plus a minor third. Looks like we got ourselves another minor 7th chord. So F sharp minor 7th. Last chord, let's go ahead and lock this one in. G sharp to B to D is a G sharp diminished chord. So we're going to be in this category, this range here. D to F sharp, 1, 2, 3, 4 is a major third. And so we have a diminished triad plus a major third. That is a half diminished chord. And so we have G sharp half diminished. All right, cool. Now let's take a look at our shorthand here, and let's go ahead and write out the shorthand. So we're going to have A major 7th. So let's grab this triangle. A major 7, A minor 7, sorry, pardon me, that's B minor 7, C sharp minor 7, D triangle major 7, E straight up 7, that's my shorthand for that, E7, F sharp minor 7, and then G sharp half diminished is going to take advantage of this funny little symbol here. So G sharp half diminished. Okay, and now you know what I'm about to say, which is because music is a formula, every major scale is going to have this exact same sequence of major, minor, minor, major, dominant, minor, half diminished 7th chords in it. And so let's just go ahead and lock that in. So general case. We have the 1, the major, pardon me, let me grab this triangle here. One major 7, 2 minor 7. We're going to have a 3 minor 7. And by the way, I'm just writing lowercase i's and then the 7 here. The lowercase basically gives me a minor. And you know what? I'll just go ahead and write this out just because that makes will cause less confusion. And so now we have a 4 major 7, and now we have a 5 just dominant 7. Then we have a 6 lowercase 6 minor 7, and then we have a 7, pardon me, a 7 diminished chord. And so this is it. This is the general case for every single key that you can think of. And so I'm going to leave this to you. So here we, as an exercise, I assign you, please find all of the 7th chords in D major and I bet at this point you can just go ahead and do this by yourself. So I'm going to close the video, and here we have seen that major scales give birth to families of 7th chords, just like major scales give birth to families of triads. And we have a general formula for figuring out what quality of 7th chords correspond to each scale degree in any major key. And here, here it is, the general case. So off you go. Your homework now is to figure out all the 7th chords in D major.